Welcome to the Property Talk, where we make sense of the real estate industry. It is the Property Talk, and the Property Talk, we usually share with you what's happening in the country. We analyze what's going on in real estate. We talk about trends. We talk about outdated trends. We talk about policies. We talk about key makers. We talk everything as long as it's real estate. And Chidan Set is the first you've seen before on this show. I think it was last year. So this year he hadn't featured on the show, but we've decided to bring him back and understand how Uganda's real estate market has been faring in the year 2023 past COVID. We're still having the COVID constraint. I know COVID last happened 2021, but 2022 we had a glimpse of COVID. 2023 there was still a shake of COVID, and we're still paying. The effects of COVID actually just starting to make sense to the Ugandan economy, and at that, the real estate economy. So on set with me is Philip Mugera. I'm going to start by asking, how has Ugandan market fared when it comes to real estate the year 2023?
The year 2023 has really struggled in real estate, especially with sales. The sales market has struggled. I mean, if you look at the properties that were constructed at the beginning of the year, I mean, we still have a big number of properties that have not sold. Compared to the previous year. Actually, I'm really shocked of what is happening in the market right now, because of, if for instance, I'll give you an example of the properties that are witnessed that were completed in February of this year. They're still on the market. The prices have been reduced slightly for them to sell, but no one is in the market to purchase. And there are so many people selling their properties as well. So what does that mean? So there's less demand. And also the purchasing power is down because of what is happening economically.
And yet people are still constructing. How are we doing when it comes to rent? At least are there rentable properties being taken off the market? Is that both for residential and commercial, or are we only looking at residential?
Both. As well, commercial has improved over the past months. I mean, they have been struggling. Some businesses have been struggling, but of course with the oil, I mean, you find most of these offices are being taken by the business that are working within the oil departments or sector.
What do you say about the properties that are coming up every single day? Because when you drive through Muyenga, when you drive through Munyonyo where we are, when you drive through Buziga, when you drive through Nali, Akira, you're seeing that there are many properties coming up every single day. On a drive lane, you're seeing at least 5 properties are under construction. And they're coming up at a rapid stage, yes, and they're for sale. What do you have to say about that?
Look at the market in Uganda. We still have a shortage of accommodation. So that gap is still pushing developers to build houses. Maybe in the future, the buyers might return. Actually, they will. And we are positive in the next coming year that the market is going to improve, especially in sales. If you look at the condominium as well, people are building condominiums. They have not stopped. These developments are still going on. Otherwise, they would have stopped by now. But whoever had planned this year, they have done their projects. Although the sales are down, but we are positive in the coming 1 or 2 years, the market will improve. It cannot stop the construction of residential as well because of the demand that we are positive is there. The demand is still there.
Does this mean that also people who have gone on board to do the affordable housing projects are also facing this same kind of challenge?
Yes, the sales are not the same as compared to the past years. I mean, look at the condominium. Normally they sell off plan. So they look at it in the way that during the construction period, at least they have a percentage they have sold. If, for example, if they are selling at 90% during the construction period, right now most of them are at 60%. That's how low the sales are because of the economic issues that's going on in the country.
2023 is coming to an end. And according to what you're saying, we have seen a significant drop in sale of property. But if I'm just to ask, when you look at our research, our analysis, it still says Uganda has tremendously grown when it comes to Uganda's real estate market. Even when we get this inside information that, sales are not happening, but rent is growing. So what would you say that for the year 2023, what have been the developments in our real estate market in Uganda?
The developments, we need to look at location, especially when it comes to development. Munyonyo as well, that's this location that we're in. There's a lot of apartments that are coming up compared to standalone houses. Why? It's because there's demand of housing in this area. I mean, so many foreigners, they like this area because it's close to the bypass. they can easily access the international airport. And also other areas, in the Yenga, as you go towards town, there are also so many foreigners. If you look at the influx of foreigners in Uganda, that's South Sudan, Eritrean Ethiopians, most of them are settled in this area, and there's demand for accommodation. So there's improvement of apartments development in this area. Look at also condominium apartments have literally now moved in this area, which was not the case before. So many people are fearing to develop condominiums, but we have about 2 or 3 projects that are coming up in Munyonyo. And then also we have projects in Miyenga along that strip. There are also condominiums coming up. So if you look at this year, there's improvement in Munyonyo with accommodation and apartment developments. Now it's coming close to other areas, the eastern Kampala, that's Chanja, Kisasi, Chiwatu. It's coming close to what they're doing there.
What should you say about Salama? People have already said Salama Road development is a bit slow, it's not growing, it's not picking up. What would you say about it currently? Is it, if there is future growth, what is the future growth in? Is it in condominium housing? Is it in apartments? Is it in standalones?
The challenge with Salama Road is one, when you look at the land tenure on Salama Road, most of the land is owned by Kabaka. And the other factor that's slowing down development on Salama Road, that is slightly after Munyonyo towards Makindye. It's apart from the land tenure, we also have what we call popular areas and unpopular areas. So what makes it unpopular is that most of the areas that developed in the 90s are a bit slummy right now. So they don't attract as many developers compared to areas that are virgin or that are currently coming up. So that's where there's slow growth in those areas. Look at even Mengo, all those areas that developed in the 90s, they have slums, or even they don't have good road networks. Whoever wants to do a development there, they want something that is close to the main road. In any case, they are going to most likely put up commercial buildings, not so many of residential. And also, the areas within those let me put it alongside Amaru. There are so many small, tiny plots. So if I want half an acre on Makindye or Samaru, it's very difficult to get that kind of land.
When you speak of tenure and say most of the land is Kabaka owned, how is that hindering development, it being Kabaka land?
It's the mindset of people that they have in Uganda. Most of them believe that private mine is better than any other tenure. Most of them believe that land that belongs to the Kabaka, one of it is that they don't have titles. Most of them there are no agreements. If they have the titles from the lease titles from Uganda Land Board, either the lease, they are 49 years lease. No, nowadays they give 99 years, depending on the money that you have. But most people don't want to buy Kabaka land. That's why you see most development around that land is a bit slummy. So that's the challenge. It's the mindset of people. They believe that private mine land is far more better than the land that is...
But majority of Munyonyo is also Kabaka's land.
Yes.
But Munyonyo has picked up. Munyonyo has developed tremendously. So why is it that Munyonyo has tremendously developed?
When it comes to development of real estate, people develop property for investment. And when you go in that direction, you need to consider certain factors that are going to sell your property. And what are the people demanding regarding land titles? They demand private minor title. That makes your property easy and quicker to sell. If you look at the affordability, also the condition of the housing. So we need something that is in good rentable conditions. That's what Ugandans are demanding. People want to stay as close as possible to the city, but also in good housing, houses, which are no longer there. If you look in the slum areas, they are not there. Everyone wants to find a house where probably his family can stay, and there's good security, good road network. Ugandans also should come up and demand for these things. If there's property taxes that is being paid on rental properties, I believe these taxes should be able to develop these particular areas where that taxes are being collected. It's something that I consider and I believe it can work out in this country.
That topic, when it comes to taxes, I hold dear to my heart because Ugandans are being asked to pay tax. Basically, we're being asked to buy land twice. You're paying property twice. You pay KCA for these fees of construction. Then you go ahead to pay property tax. We do not even know how they are valuing us property tax. We do not know for which period of time you're supposed to be paying this property tax. Basically, there's still a lot unanswered around that area. So that will be a topic for another time. But in conclusion now, Philip, what do you see Uganda's real estate progressing to in 2024?
Of course, going to be some slow developments as we enter the first quarter. The development of residential properties will slow down until some of these properties have been sold. So we'll have more new developments. Just look it in the other way around also for condominium developments. I mean, these are people who are there to make money. So if a project is sold maybe 50%, it will make it a little bit difficult for anyone to go into another project. Even if they already purchased land, it will make it difficult for them to start this project until probably they have sold out.
So in short, you're telling an investor out there to just hold on a little bit before investing bigger chunks of money into real estate construction again in Uganda?
No, what people also need to consider, especially in this kind of period of time, is to make the prices affordable for buyers to come back in the market. Banks need to consider giving financial mortgages to these people that are affordable.
So that one is a topic for next time.
Actually, being a topic for next time, but also what is driving away Ugandans from the banks. Not only even mortgage, even borrowing money for other things. There's a reason why they are driving them away from banks. One, the application process is actually a mess. You have to go through 3 months to get a mortgage, the application process. But also we need to shorten the process for Ugandans.
Philip, it was a pleasure having you and said, surely at the start of next year, I would like us to reconvene again, sit down and talk and see how the year 2023 closed to the final day of 31st and how we're starting up the year for insights. But it was a pleasure having you and said, thank you so much.
Thank you too.